She was 72 when she finally gave up dancing. Not because she wanted to, but because her knees hurt too much to move, her back ached like it carried the weight of decades, and worst of all, she was starting to forget things, important things. Her name is Margaret. She's my aunt. And 3 months ago, she told me in a quiet, embarrassed voice, "Honey, I stood in the grocery store for 20 minutes last week because I couldn't remember why I was there." That was the moment it hit me. The vibrant woman who once led the family conga line on Thanksgiving was slowly fading. Not just physically, but mentally, emotionally. We tried all the usual stuff. Calcium pills, pain creams, brain games, multivitamins. Nothing really worked. Until one morning, a simple glass of something red changed everything. It wasn't a magic pill. It wasn't from a pharmacy. It was a homemade drink my friend, a nutritionist, had shared with me for older folks who feel like they're running out of steam. Skeptical, but curious, I made it for Aunt Margaret. 1 week in, she said she was sleeping better. 2 weeks later, she smiled and said I didn't need my cane this morning. By week 4, she was dancing in the kitchen again. You're going to want to know what was in that glass, and you're going to want to try it yourself or for someone you love. Let me tell you what happened next. Aging doesn't announce itself with a grand event. It comes slowly like a fog creeping into your joints, your eyesight, your memory. If you're over 60, you probably know exactly what I mean. You sit down and forget why you walked into the room. You read the same line 3 times before it sticks. You reach for something on a high shelf and your shoulder says, "Not today." People say it's just part of getting older. But let me ask you something. What if it didn't have to be that way? What if your bones didn't have to ache? What if your memory could sharpen again, not decline? What if your eyesight could actually improve even after 65? See, most of us don't realize how much power we still have. We accept the slow decline thinking it's the only option left. But I've learned something watching my aunt and later others I shared this remedy with. Your body is still listening. It's not giving up. It's waiting for you to give it what it needs. And sometimes, it all starts with what you put in your glass each morning. Most people over 60 say the same thing. My joints hurt. My knees, my hips, my hands. But here's the truth. It's not always your joints. Sometimes the real culprit is something deeper, your bones and the connective tissues that hold everything together. As we age, cartilage wears down, the fluid in our joints decreases, and the ligaments that once held us upright start to stiffen or weaken. But bones, they too suffer in silence. Tiny fractures, mineral loss, micro damage from years of use and not enough support. The pain we feel may seem like it's just part of life, but often it's a sign that your body is starving not just for rest, but for the right fuel to repair and rebuild. So before we dive into the morning drink that helped Aunt Margaret walk again, let's explore what goes into it and why each ingredient targets these deeper causes of pain. I call it the anti-aging breakfast smoothie, not because it erases wrinkles or turns back time, but because it gives your body exactly what it's been missing. Nutrients that rebuild tissue, soothe pain, and wake up your brain all in one glass. Here's what you need: 1 small beet, 1 medium carrot, 1 crisp apple, 1 cup of water, a few ice cubes. That's it. Rinse them, chop them, toss them into a blender. Blend until smooth and vibrant red like a ruby in a glass. Now here's why it works. Beets are rich in vitamin C, natural nitrates, and powerful antioxidants. They improve blood flow, not just to your heart, but to your brain, your joints, and even your eyes. Better circulation means better healing. In a study published in Hypertension, older adults who drank beet juice daily showed improved blood flow to the frontal lobe, the part of the brain tied to memory and decision-making. Carrots are packed with beta-carotene and vitamin A, both essential for eye health, immune support, and reducing inflammation in connective tissues. Carrots also contain antioxidants that fight chronic inflammation, the silent enemy behind joint pain, stiffness, and even brain fog. Apples bring fiber, quercetin, and gentle sweetness. They support digestion, reduce brain fog, and nourish your gut where much of your immune system lives. Want to boost the benefits even more? Avocados are rich in healthy fats and vitamin E, which protect brain cells and reduce inflammation. Nuts, especially walnuts, are full of omega-3 fatty acids, essential for brain health and flexible joints. And just the smell of rosemary, studies show it can improve memory and focus by up to 75 to 80%. simply by stimulating certain brain pathways through scent. So no, this isn't a fad. It's real nutrition, real compounds, real changes. You don't need expensive supplements or a PhD in biology, just a handful of ingredients from your local grocery store and a blender. Because your body is built to heal, it just needs the right tools. Aunt Margaret didn't believe it at first. After all, she had tried everything. Pain relievers, knee braces, memory pills with fancy labels. She thought a smoothie sounded too simple. But 3 weeks in, she called me. Her voice was quiet at first, then shaky. I read a whole chapter last night. No headache, no forgetting where I left off. Then she laughed, and I hadn't heard that laugh in months. And I stood up from the couch without using my hands. It wasn't just her knees, or her memory. Something else was changing. She started waking up with energy again. Her eyes looked clearer. Her shoulders didn't slump anymore. And the best part? One morning, I walked into her kitchen, and there she was, barefoot dancing to a Sinatra record. She looked up and smiled like a teenager caught skipping school. "I didn't plan to dance," she said. "My body just wanted to move again." That moment hit me hard. Because aging shouldn't mean giving up joy. It shouldn't mean watching the world from the sidelines. And yet so many seniors accept decline as a fact of life, when often it's simply a matter of what we give our bodies. Aunt Margaret gave hers a second chance with 1 glass a day. And it gave her more than she ever expected in return. So how do you start? It's simpler than you think. You don't need fancy equipment or expensive superfoods. All you need is 1 fresh beet, 1 carrot, 1 apple, 1 cup of cold water, and a few ice cubes. Step 1. Wash everything well. No need to peel, just chop them into chunks. Step 2. Place them in a blender. Add the water and ice. Step 3. Blend until smooth. Pour into a glass. Drink fresh. Drink it once a day, ideally before breakfast, when your body is ready to absorb nutrients. You can prep ingredients the night before to make mornings easier. If the taste is strong at first, try adding a small slice of ginger or a few drops of lemon juice for flavor. It's not a miracle, it's a habit. And like all habits, the secret is consistency. Tomorrow morning, give your body something it will thank you for. 1 glass, 5 minutes, a lifetime of difference. Can I drink this if I have diabetes? Yes, but with a simple tweak. Use half an apple instead of a full one, or swap it for a green apple, which is lower in sugar. As always, check with your doctor, especially if you're on medication. I take pills in the morning, will this interfere? No, this is food, not medicine. But if you're on strict dietary guidelines, it's wise to space out the smoothie by at least 30 minutes before or after medications. Can I add other ingredients? Absolutely. Many seniors add a slice of ginger for inflammation or a few walnuts for extra omega-3. Want even more eye support? Try a handful of spinach. How soon will I see results? Some feel lighter within a week, better digestion, clearer thinking. Joint and memory improvements often come after 3 to 4 consistent weeks. Remember, it's not a race. It's a return to the way your body wants to feel. Before you start blending every morning, here's something important. Pain is your body's way of speaking. Don't ignore it. Even if a natural remedy brings relief, it should never replace professional medical advice, especially if you have chronic conditions or are recovering from surgery. Always talk to your doctor before making major changes to your diet or routine. Bring them the recipe. Ask questions. Let them be part of your wellness journey. Because the best healing happens when modern medicine and natural care work together. This smoothie is powerful, but you deserve full support, not guesswork. Aunt Margaret once told me something I'll never forget. She looked at her hands, weathered-veined, strong from a lifetime of work, and said, "I thought my body was giving up on me. But now I realize I was the one who gave up on it." That hit me. Because how many of us quietly do the same? We assume pain is the price of growing older. We accept the blur in our eyes, the forgetfulness in our thoughts, the ache in our steps, as if there's no other choice. But here's the truth. Your body still wants to heal. It still remembers how to move, how to think, how to feel alive. All it needs is your permission. That 1 glass each morning wasn't just fuel for Aunt Margaret's body, it was hope in liquid form. It was her saying, "I'm not done yet." And neither are you. So tomorrow morning, Don't just pour yourself a smoothie. Pour yourself a little promise that you're still worth the effort. Because at any age, healing isn't out of reach. It's just one small, beautiful habit away.